Hey, what's up? This is Scott with Level Up Tutorials, and in this video we are going to be taking those items that we just put in our menu and we're going to be adding some visual touches to the web application to make it a little bit more usable in that regard, but we're also going to be creating our menu page itself where we can filter and only show the items that are explicitly stated to be in the menu. So let's get going on that right now. Okay, so in the last video we had this toggle menu working. It now says true or false, but what we're not doing is sort of letting the user know that something's being added to the menu, and we have these two buttons here, and we don't actually have anything showing up in our menu because there is no path for menu. Okay, so let's come here first and let's work on the individual recipe. And what we're going to do is simply add a class that basically lets you know when something is in the menu or not. Now, because we're working with booleans with this in menu value, this should be really easy. What we can do is come to our recipe.html, and in our class where we have recipe here, we can also add in just some brackets here and an if statement. We can say if in menu, then we want the class of in-menu. This is so easy. So very easy. And now we can say if. Okay. So now basically whenever this value is set to true, this class in menu is going to be here. Now if you pull up your stylus or CSS, we can scroll down here and we can find in menu. I'm just going to search for it, in-menu. You could see recipe in menu now has background of teal and a color of white and an H3. Now what's interesting here is I had this add to menu and remove from menu class, and they were sort of extraneous. So now what we want to do is actually use the btn primary and btn deny. Now this is only going to work because we have no other buttons within this. You wouldn't want to go adding btn primary buttons all over this place right now, especially because we're showing and hiding them. So you can go ahead and change this remove from menu to btn deny. Now again, we'll also need to change this if you scroll up. The remove from menu right here needs to be btn deny, display none. So by default, the deny button is going to be displayed none, and the btn primary is going to be displayed block. Now when we have in menu, we're going to have a display block and a display none. So with that done, we should be able to come in here, and our items that are in the menu, of course, are teal here. If we click remove from menu, they're gone. Now one more thing I need to do is, because we're displaying block here, let's go ahead and just say btn primary display block here as well. Just so that they're both display block instead of inline block whenever they're being shown. And now this is going to refresh our page, and you will see we have our add to menu. We click it, it now says remove from menu, and they're separate buttons like so. When it's added to our menu, we have this teal color letting us know that it is in fact selected into the menu. Okay, so we now have this ability. This is a bit better. We have a visual indicator. We have the buttons correctly working as expected. Now let's go ahead and actually create our menu. To do so, let's first head to routing, and we can simply just add a new route here. So I'm going to head to my routes, and down here at the bottom, I'm going to add a new route, which is just going to be menu. And so we can say flow router.route. And we can pass this in /menu. Now we're going to go ahead and have a comma. Now we can have a bracket just like we've had before. Okay, so this should all be looking very familiar at this point, and we can give this a name of simply just menu. We can have a comma. Now we need an action. Our action could be defined like this with parentheses immediately after it and then brackets like so. Now we can simply just tell Blaze layout to render, and then what we're going to want to be rendering is the main layout, and we're going to want to rendering inside of the main section of that. We can say main colon, and then we're going to want to add our new template in here, which is going to be menu. Now this template doesn't exist yet, so we won't be finding anything if we browse to this URL. So let's go ahead and actually create a new one. I'm just going to, inside of the client directory, new file, save this as menu.html template, and we have a new template with a name of menu. Okay. Now inside of menu, we're going to be wanting an h1 with a class of page-title, and this is going to be my current menu. Okay, and we're going to want to be returning menu items at some point. However, we don't need to actually be doing anything just yet. We just want to make sure this route's working. So let's head back to our page here. When we select menu, you can see my current menu. Okay, so now I'm going to be needing to make a new menu.js file, but first I'm essentially going to copy this stuff from recipes.js. This is going to come in handy in a second. So inside of our client here, we can do a new file, and we can have it be menu.js. I'm going to just paste this stuff in here. Now what we can say is on a template menu uncreated, we want to subscribe to recipes. And in addition, we want our menu helpers. We want this to be able to grab the recipes here, and we want them to essentially iterate over this. However, we only want to find the recipes with an in menu value of true. So we want these recipes to be returned, right? We want to find our recipes, but we can find the only ones we want, the in menu ones, simply by saying in menu : true. So with this statement, the recipes that are going to be returned to us inside of this cursor here are going to be the in menu items. So let's head to our menu.html, and now we can iterate over those menu items. So we can simply say bracket bracket each, and then it's going to be recipes, each recipes, and close this each off. /each. Sometimes auto completion is a little bit of a pain here, but inside of here we can simply just say name, and inside of a p tag we can say desk for description here. I'm actually going to be putting this name inside of an h3 so it looks all right here. Looks a little bit better. Okay, and we now should be able to see the items that are in our menu currently listed. So we can see we have fish tacos and tuna. Unfortunately, I made the descriptions almost the exact same as the title, so it almost looks like these are two separate things. But as you can see, we have our current page here. Now let's check this out. When I close this, I'm going to open this up over here. Let's make a new window with this same page. Okay, now let's go ahead and watch this current menu as we add an item to it. We're going to add a salad. Boom, it shows up. Boom, there it is. Man, and this is just Meteor out of the box, right? So we didn't really have to do anything to get this real-time stuff going. And that's really my favorite part about Meteor, is it just makes these really nice little real-time things just simply easy. Okay, so we now have the ability to add things to our current menu. Our current menu is being populated. You can see it here. Our recipe book is working. This could be looking better, and we need our shopping list. So in the next few videos, we are going to be just improving and iterating upon this. We're going to be building out a menu item template. We're going to be building out our shopping list page, and then we're going to be talking a little bit about performance and subscriptions and things like that to make sure we're only subscribing to the data we need. So as always, this is Scott with Level Up Tutorials. If you have any questions or comments, leave a comment in the video or hit me up at Twitter or Facebook at Level Up Tutorials. I'd love to hear from you. If you want to help support Level Up Tutorials, check out Level Up Pro. It's a subscription service from Level Up Tutorials that currently just gives you an ad-free experience and the ability to support the creation of free tutorials. However, in the very near future, there's going to be on-demand next level tutorial content coming this or next week. So as always, this is Scott. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.